California National Guard some time ago began to seek repayment from vets of re-enlistment bonuses it had paid out years ago. The Pentagon had stopped collection efforts for now, but many veterans already had to pay back thousands of dollars. Here now to sort all this out for us, this difficult case, is local defense attorney Paul DerOhannesian. Paul, thank you so much for being here.
Good to see you, Dan.
Can you first, before we even delve into this, what happened here?
What happened was approximately 20,000 individuals were given bonuses to re-enlist. The government audited and said, you know what, you weren't entitled to get that. We want the money back. And it hit particularly hard among California National Guard reservists.
What is the, I mean, it seems like this was a mistake by the government, right?
Well, it's not only a mistake by the government. It turns out in 2010, several of the recruiters were actually convicted of making and engaging in fraudulent actions with respect to their recruitment. So that makes it even worse yet. But it's such a minefield when you have to try to challenge government benefit decisions.
So what's going to happen? So they've stopped the reimbursement. What's going to happen now? Are they going to start it again? I mean, what's the likelihood?
Well, the problem is this, that how do you challenge this? Well, there's an administrative process that involves about 4 agencies: the Treasury Department, California National Guard, the Department of Defense, the National Guard Bureau. That is a minefield, and most individuals haven't even tried to do that, yet that's what they're supposed to do. Really, some congressmen, I think, are offering the best hope, which is trying to deal with this through congressional action. And in fact, that's usually what an individual should do, is contact their congressman to see if he or she can help out when they have an administrative denial of some sort.
Can you sue the government? Can you counter-sue and make sure? I mean,
that's another challenge. There is a lawsuit in this situation that several of these reservists have started. Guess what? The government's moving to dismiss it on the ground that they really have no right or authority to do that. And of course, it takes expenses, and it's not easy to bring that lawsuit from a financial point of view. So while you can, it's very difficult, and they're already facing the battle of trying to get that case sustained.
I mean, this is government money, so, I mean, these are veterans we're talking about, people who serve this country and overseas, no less, right? But why don't they just write this off? I guess this would be on the backs of the taxpayers, which...
And it's really not a tremendous amount of money. What happens is, from a bureaucratic point of view, the California National Guard, the Treasury Department, each says we don't have the authority to do that. It takes Congress to do that. So no one really wants to accept responsibility for the problem, is what it ultimately comes down to.
How is this different from any money that the government may issue to, like, some other people?
Well, it isn't. If you ever get a benefit that you're not entitled to, yes, you have to pay it back. I think what makes this one a little bit different is the fact that you had, in fact, criminal conduct involved by the recruiters, which is what affected these individuals. And remember, they're suffering from tax garnishments, and that affects their credit. So there's significant consequences to these individuals, too, who can't make these payments that they're being asked to make.
The government is garnishing their wages and their...
Yes, because that's what the government will do when they say that you took a benefit that you're not entitled to. And that's what's happened in this case. Interest payments, wage garnishments, and tax liens, and credit history, all affected by this action.
So let's say you take money fraudulently, let's say government assistance fraudulently. Obviously, it's fraudulent on your part. You have to pay it back.
Absolutely.
And you can go to prison for that.
Yes.
But this one was the government's fault.
That's right. That's right, and that's why everyone feels this is such a great injustice, and that's why I think this, at this time of Veterans Day and this weekend, is a good time to look at this problem and realize, you know what, sometimes we don't treat our veterans the way we should treat them.
Okay, lastly, what kind of resource veterans have? I mean, to begin with, and can they really go after this legally?
Again, I think the best resource they have is their own representatives. After that, coming together as they've done here as a group and bringing attention to the problem, sometimes that attention, that publicity, gives better recourse than any legal remedy.
Wow, Paul, this is a very, very interesting case. Thank you so much for sorting it all out for us.
My pleasure.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much. More information on this on our website at WNYT.com. We will be right back with the day's top stories. Stay with us.